everyone, welcome to Woman Empowerment Series with me today, Farisha. And today we have a special guest with us, is Noor Asmaliza Romlee. Hi Liza, how are you?
Hi Farisha, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah. How is fasting month?
So far, so good. I think it's easier because we are at home.
Okay.
So we don't travel that much.
And how is MCO treating you?
MCO, I'm getting used to it
Yeah.
as compared to the first or second week. And so far, managed to set up some routine at home and try to be as productive as possible, including talking to you in your series for today.
That's good. Okay, and it's good to keep productive, during the MCO season. Okay, first and foremost, I would like to thank you. Thank you for being in my Women Empowerment series. So, Women Empowerment series is the show where I showcase all the amazing ladies in Malaysia from various industries and various backgrounds. Okay, so Liza, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Liza, in short. And I'm working with TalentCorp in Berhad. It's a government agency under the Ministry of Human Resources. And we look into talent strategies and development, meaning that when we talk about talents, we look at the whole ecosystem which support the talents. So we are looking at the work itself, the workplace, as well as the workforce. So yes.
Okay, and for the first woman empowerment question, could you ever have imagined where you are today at the beginning of your career?
Not at all, actually. My career begins with an international NGO dealing with environment. Then I moved to a think tank in science, technology, and innovation, where I spent a big chunk of time of my career there. Then I moved to the European Union-Malaysia Chamber of Commerce Industry. And now I am with a government agency dealing with talent strategies and development. So yes, my career path is really a straight line. And I feel that it is completely normal. Because building a career, it's all about the right time and the right opportunity. So it can, as you go along your career path, you may face certain twists or turns, and it can be a winding path.
Challenges.
And I believe that every choice you make makes you. So and every choice has its own significance. So no regret.
Exactly. Okay, so moving on to the next question. What keeps you going to strive to be better every day?
I think at the base of it, I would want my country to be and to do better. And in order to achieve that, I personally believe that I should play my role, even if it's just a small contribution. So I would actually enroll myself in programs or projects which at national level, so that I can create an impact to the society. And that's the reason why I joined the government. And besides all this, I believe that hard work, passion, and discipline, will lead a person to be successful in any career that you choose. So, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, for the next question, who are the woman figures, woman idols that you admire in Malaysia and also internationally?
Interesting question. I have a lot.
Yeah.
Can I let you know all of them?
Yeah. I have a lot too. I have like more than 10.
More wow. Okay. Mine is not more than 10.
And also international. Yeah.
Okay. In Malaysia, I have two women that I look up onto. The first one is Hazami Habib. She is the CEO of the Academy of Sciences Malaysia. She's my mentor throughout my career as well as my personal life. I've been working with her since in my 20s, and even at that young age, she had encouraged me to strive for more, allow me to think differently and voice out my opinion when it matters. Another person, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows, Marina Mahathir. It's not just a Malaysian. And she is globally recognized socio-political activist and a writer. What I like about her is that she writes and speaks regularly on current issues related to gender, human rights, and religion. Yeah. And at international level, I have three. The first one is Jacinda Ardern, the current Prime Minister of New Zealand.
She's amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. I love her too. And I really admire her leadership. And she addressed the New Zealander, the New Zealand citizens really well on a crisis. And she's really up to date, and she's well spoken. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yes, and she's also a young mother right now, a young female head of government. And she doesn't rule in a traditional per se. So she questioned the norms and as you said, her capability in handling crisis, I think has made her a respectable leader at global level. The next one, I have Irshad Manji, a Canadian educator and New York Times best-selling author. Two books that I will repeat and to read again and again: The Trouble with Islam Today and Don't Label Me. Oprah Winfrey actually named her among the first winners of the Shupa Prize for Boldness.
Wow. Okay.
And so last but not least,
you really admire her, like for her writings and.
Yes, for her being really bold in her writing. Yeah, and Beyonce. I mean, who doesn't know Beyonce? Who rule the world, girls? She's an American singer, songwriter, actress, and entrepreneur. And throughout her career, she has won more than 30 MTV Video Music Awards, making her the most awarded artist in the award show history. And Farisha, I think what all of these women have in common, which I resonate with, is that they believe that your voice is your power. And it is important to speak up for those who have been silenced. Yeah? They express their opinions in political sphere, in media, be it throughout published books or articles, as well as in entertainment. They taught me the importance of representation, especially of women who less of it than me, you, some of us here.
And they're very strong and very bold women, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and they speak their mind.
Yep, and something which I admire, and I hope that one day I will have that kind of confidence to speak up, as what they are doing right now.
Okay, so what would be your advice for the aspiring young ladies out there?
I think when it comes to women empowerment, to me, if a woman can make the right decisions for herself and stay true to what she believes and is not influenced by other people's comments or opinions, that will be an empowerment. So I believe that we need to empower more young Malaysian women to stand up for what they believe and allow them to truly have self-confidence and self-esteem. So to the young ladies out there, do not be scared. Stand up and speak out for what you believe. And you can express your opinions in many ways, be it in writing, verbally, or even volunteer yourself in some of the activities. Yeah, and women empowerment, and get yourself empowered. Yeah, and it can come from many places, as simple as surrounding yourself with a group of amazing women, to feel empowered, strong, and confident. Yeah, and another thing, Farisha, I would love to remind them to break free from their traditional roles and do away with gender stereotypes.
Yeah, and also the courage, to stand up for yourself and follow your heart, go for your passion, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to speak up. Yeah, because I know a lot of ladies, some of them, they are afraid to speak up because some of them might think, oh, if I say this, oh, what's going to happen to me? Oh, I will be judged, or this and that. So you have to speak your mind and be brave. You have to have that courage, Ken. Yeah, and it's not easy, but you have to have that passion and that courage to believe in yourself as well, and also to have that determination and you have to believe in yourself that, like for example, you stand up for something, so you have to voice up your opinion, and it's okay. Yeah, and it's nothing wrong with that. Okay, in your own words, can you describe what woman empowerment means to you? Any words of advice that you can share with young women out there?
Yeah. So to me, women empowerment means when a woman can make the right decisions for herself and stay true to what she believes, and is not influenced by other people's comments or opinions. Yeah. And I strongly believe that we need to empower more young Malaysian women to stand up for what they believe and allow them to have self-confidence and self-esteem. Yeah, we need to feel empowered, strong, and confident. And together, we need to encourage more women to break free from their traditional roles and do away with gender stereotypes. And to Farisha, I mean, your series is definitely, in my personal opinion, is one of the ways for us to empower women out there. And thank you for organizing this type of series.
Thank you so much, Liza. I started this initiative last year. I started this because I think that women in Malaysia, we have so much potential. We have so much potential in us. We just have to unleash that potential and do our part in the community, in our society, and also contribute to our country, Malaysia. And for young ladies out there, go for your dream. Go for it. Don't be afraid. Just go. Yeah, jump and just go.
Totally agree with you.
And take risks. Don't be afraid to take risks. Yeah. So anything in life comes with a risk. So when you make a decision, it's also a risk. So you need to also be brave and bold from the decision that you make in life. So you have to know what are the consequences, and you also have to stand up for yourself as well. And for ladies out there, be the best that you can be, unleash your fullest potential, and shine bright. So like what Rihanna was saying, right, in her song, shine bright like a diamond.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Okay, so for the next question, COVID-19 crisis teaches humankind that we are all in this together, and it is important for us to take care of each other. What would be your advice for our viewers watching this? What is the silver lining that we all can learn from this pandemic?
What I observed during this COVID-19 crisis is that Malaysians support each other more than we ever in these trying times. At least that is true based on my personal experience, being a volunteer in this online voluntary citizen group known as Caremongering Malaysia. It is being set up in a Facebook group. Mm-hmm. And what amazed me was that I technically collaborated with a bunch of strangers. I mean, we are volunteers, but we don't know each other before this, and we got to meet only via this platform. However, we work well together to deliver food, aid, as well as running errands for the people in need, based on trust that we need to help others who are in need of our assistance. And the assistance, it can come in many different ways. For example, not everyone can donate money, right? You can also offer your time or your services in terms of riding or driving to buy some medicine at the pharmacy, or to pass some groceries to the elderly who are stuck at home. And maybe collaborate. For example, I collaborated with this community Tukang Jahit. It's SME. No, it's actually more of a social enterprise. With a group of B40 single mothers, as well as B40 women, who are tailors, and they make reusable and washable face masks. And we managed to donate it to more than 200 people, comprised of refugees, volunteers from Dapur Harapan Lembah Pantai, Suka Society, and other Malaysians who are in need.
So besides that, do you also donate like food to them as well?
Yes. So basically what happened via this online platform is that you can actually volunteer. So someone will post like, okay, so these 3 families are in need of these food items or that food item. So I can actually collaborate with 2-3 other people in my area. For example, I'm in Lembah Pantai. Okay, and say that, okay, so let's chip in. How much you can chip in? Maybe 50 ringgit. You can chip in 30 ringgit. So we share our resources. And someone else will actually volunteer to actually help us to deliver or to do the shopping. So that's how it works.
That's nice, because especially right now in times of crisis, the most important thing we can do is to support and empower each other. So it's like the hashtag, kita jaga kita. So we have to take care of each other. And as Malaysians, this is the very tough period that we're in, trying times. And it's not just in Malaysia, but everywhere around the world, with coronavirus. And
especially with the first 2 weeks, we don't have an official food aid from the government. But now, Alhamdulillah, we have food aid, centralized food aid from the government. But so we still need this type of community support and work to help people in need.
So each and every one of us, we can do our part, right, Liza? And we can lend a helping hand, like you were saying. We can volunteer, or we can provide transport. What else?
Another thing is that what I found out is that during MCO, sometimes, to me, before this, volunteering is all about being in the field, being in action. But sometimes, nowadays with the whole of you can communicate via WhatsApp, you can call people, you can message via Facebook. So sometimes you can do virtual volunteering. Not necessarily you have to be physically there. And it's good to have to be connected via online.
So everyone can play their role and do their part, and also help and lend a helping hand. Okay, and moving on to the next question. One of the many ways to empower more women in Malaysia and globally is to provide more employment opportunities for women. I am aware that TalentCorp is involved in the efforts to retain and facilitate the return of more talented women to the workforce. Can you share with us more about the motivation behind the initiative, and what are the programs initiated by TalentCorp?
Sure. Okay, so when we talk about women empowerment, right, we need to shape our future female leaders, and we get that from a pool of potential female talents. However, first thing first, we need to address that huge elephant in the room, and that is the lack of potential female talents in the workforce. Now, when we look at the numbers, right, Farisha, the situation in Malaysia is pretty unique. Why do I say that? Is if we look at the source of talent pipeline, 64.5% of public university graduates are women. So that's good news, right? More women, are successful graduates. However, the percentage drops significantly when they enter the workforce. So if you look at the female labor force participation rate, I mean, in labor force, we call it FLFPR. In Malaysia, the female labor force participation rate is 56% as compared to the male labor force participation rate, which is up to 80.9%. So 56% and 80.9%. So that's a huge gap there. Right?
So we're at 56%.
Malaysia,
56%.
56%.
56%. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And Malaysia has, so if you want to force participation rate in ASEAN, just slightly higher than Indonesia and Philippines, but much lower than Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. And another thing is that, Farisha, for a long time now, Malaysia has this pattern of our women leaving our workforce in the prime of their careers, in their late 20s to early 30s, basically to raise a family, to care for family members, or because of lack of work-life balance, right? So we call this a single peak phenomenon, in female labor force participation rate. So meaning that the graph is a single peak. It means that when our women leave the workforce, they tend not to return, so the graph will drop.
So the graph is like so it's like going
just a
downward.
Single peak.
Okay.
Up and then downward. But countries like Japan and Korea, their women return to work after a career break, so they have double peak. Meaning that, yes, their women also leave at some point in their life, to raise a family and to take care family members.
Take care of the children.
I mean, the graph will drop, but they will enter. Yeah, they will come back. So, but it's not the case in Malaysia. Yeah, so that is a bit of a worry, actually.
Okay. And for the next question, what are TalentCorp efforts in increasing women participation in the labor force?
Okay. And before that, I would like also to share with you some of the external barriers and internal barriers that women face in our workforce. Yeah. I would like to categorize it as external barriers and internal barriers. Because, okay, for example, external barriers, 75% of new mothers in Malaysia have cited that a lack of work flexibility as their top reason for leaving their jobs. While 60% are concerns about poor childcare, and 55% is due to having an unsupportive boss and work environment when it comes to balancing home and work life. Now, how employers can actually help to remove some of these barriers is that, especially to your viewers who are employers out there, you actually can create a support system at workplace. For example, having a mentor-mentee program where you can pair up a young female talent with a male senior mentor, or even conduct a women leadership program. Doesn't have to be on a monthly basis, but maybe it can be on a quarterly basis to assist potential female talents to transition to bigger roles. Yeah, employees themselves need to provide the avenue for these women to continue being on the same level field with their male counterparts. And my second point, which is allow to better work-life integration by implementation of innovative HR practices. For example, to provide employees with work-life practices like flexible working arrangements, staggered hours, alternate schedule, yeah, and I believe your office has that now, yeah, the roster.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then family-friendly facilities, for example, having a dedicated parking for pregnant women, as well as for single women who have to work until late at night, and even lactation room or nursery, yeah, in the building, and as well as work-life benefits, right? And I would love to also touch about internal barriers. Yeah. Now, internal barriers exist among and within women themselves, which are as significant as addressing the institutional barriers. Simply because the hurdles are within our control, and changing the voices that question us, that judge or stop us from speaking out or sit at the decision-making table. Another statistic, Farisha, according to the responses to the Malaysian Labour Force Survey in 2018, 60.2% of women who did not participate in the labour force cited housework, including child and elderly care as the main reason for not seeking work. So it is not just an assumption, Farisha, but it is a fact. And it is from the survey, 60.2% of women cited that housework is one of the barriers.
60.2%. So this is the latest stats. Yeah.
Yep, in 2018. Yep.
2018.
Yeah. Okay. And it is vital to address the social norms where the responsibility of caring for a family member or raising a family is left solely on the woman. Yeah. Our community need to encourage a more balanced relationship and 50-50 partnership in a household. Husbands and wives need to share housework and childcare equally, especially when both are employed full-time. Yeah, it's not just, women, go to office, go to work, and you come back, you still need to do your housework. And, when your husbands can just come back and watch TV. No, that doesn't work. It has to be a 50-50 responsibilities at work.
So, exactly. Yeah. So it has to be a balance, Yes. And I think with the men as well. Okay. So for those, for men who are watching out there, okay. And for the men, it's really important for you to support your wife. Yeah. Support your spouse, and support each other. And it has to be a balance, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and even if you're not married, let's say you live in a household where you have your sisters working very hard, right?
Yeah.
So as a brother, either younger or older brother, if you live in the house, you can actually take turns to do the housework and do some errands for your old parents.
Yeah.
So as simple as that.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that with my woman empowerment series, not just that I interview women, but also the men as well, for the men who are watching out there. So to respect, your mom, your wife, your sister-in-law, your female colleagues at work. Yeah, and everyone. Yeah, so all of us, we play a very important role, right, Liza? So it's really important for the men out there as well to also respect women around them. Respect your mom, your sister, your sister-in-law, or your wife, your sister's friend, or your female colleagues. So this is where the support systems start, and by supporting each other, I think that is really important.
And to cultivate women empowerment, it has to start from home. So
yes,
exactly. You are right.
Yes, and now during MCO, everyone is at home. So this is the best time, for us to, bond with our family during MCO, and also to understand each other, and also, respect your wife, respect your mother, your sister, what else? Your female colleagues, all the women around you. So men, okay, to all the guys out there watching, so you guys play a very important role. Okay,
Couldn't agree with you more. And Farisha, I would like to share with your audience on this program that TalentCorp is organizing. It's called a Career Comeback Program. Career Comeback Program facilitates women who want to return to work to available job opportunities shared by employers. So we have a database, and if you just Google Career Comeback Program TalentCorp, there's a simple form where you can fill up and you'll be included in one of the database. And what we will connect you to the employers, whenever there are opportunities. So far, we have helped over 800 women returning from career breaks to find jobs within a wide range of sectors. And how TalentCorp assists, we share best practices of Career Comeback Program workshops. We, as I mentioned, we leverage on the Career Comeback database, and we do write-up of the workshop in Talent Matters in the newsletter. And so far, we have employers like Kimberly-Clark, iFlix, British Council, Coca-Cola, and some other technology-based companies who have participated with us. And some of the criteria for you to enroll in these career comeback programs, that you have to be a Malaysian citizen. You have to have a minimum of 3 years work experience. You have to have at least 6 months of career break. And you have to be unemployed during that career break. And you are looking forward to return to work and ready to be employed, especially in a full-time employment. And so besides this career comeback program, we focus on initiatives and advocates for policies that encourage work-life integration, as well as diversity and inclusion in the workplace. We provide consultancy when it comes to the adaptation of work-life practices. You can actually write to us and see how we can assist your company, especially SMEs out there, to set up different form of work-life practices or flexible working arrangements in your office. So, that's about it.
Okay, thank you, Liza, for your sharing session. I would like to ask a question. Where does TalentCorp get the data, the database?
For the Career Comeback Program?
Career Comeback,
Okay, so in our website, we actually have a form for you to fill up. So that's how we collect the database of women. So basically, the women who sign up are the women who are looking forward to come back or to return to the workforce. So that's how we collect our data, or our women out there. And we do what we call this, promote it via our websites, our social media. And I think in some of conferences and forums out there, so we do promote this.
Okay, and what would be your advice for the ladies out there who want to come back to employment, who wants to come back to their career from a career break?
I think first thing first is to be able to set up your mindset that you are ready to commit or to build your career. That is very important. And once you get your mindset fixed, that yes, I'm coming back, to the workforce. Second would be to get support in a sense that, for example, in this career comeback program, whenever we conduct workshops, right, we invite all these women to these workshops, and this is where it's not just a networking event or an event where you can learn about these particular organizations or your potential employer, but you get to mingle and meet other women who share the same reasons or struggles to come back to the workforce. So support group is very important. And that is external support, but internal support in a sense from your family members For example, you need to discuss with your husband if you have children. How are you going to sort out the nursery or babysitting? Yeah, and the commute to work, the travel and whatnot. And if you don't have children, what are other, sometimes, for example, I used to take care of my single mother who was very sick as well at one point. So I need to figure out how I'm going to, get someone to take care of her while I go out to work. So these are the sort of support that you need to get from your immediate family members or friends even, before you go out, so that you will not be disturbed by all this thinking or worry that you have in you. And lastly is to make sure that you find the right organizations or employers who support work-life practices, because once you have commitment, be it family or as in children or elderly parents, you would want to have a very supportive and conducive working environment that has flexible working arrangements or family-friendly facilities, which we have. We have a lot of companies out there who do have. So it's good for you to explore these options. And even if they don't be afraid to speak out to your employer. Say that, okay, I really would like to come back and I love this offer. However, do you think instead of like 8 to 5, can I come at like 9 to 6? So that I can get that 1 hour to send my children to nursery or kindergarten or whatsoever. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much, Liza, for your sharing session. Okay, for those who are watching the show out there, and I hope you guys are inspired and also motivated by Liza's inspiring series today. Okay, till then, catch me on the next Woman Empowerment series. And Liza, do you have anything else that you would like to share with our audience today?
No, that's about it. In fact, I would like to thank you for empowering a lot of women and giving us the opportunity to share our opinions and stories through your audience. Thank you, Farisha.
Thank you, Liza, and thank you, TalentCorp. Okay, thank you, everyone. Till then, see you at the next Women Empowerment series. Stay safe, take care, bye.